Amityville 6, aka Amityville, It's About Time, aka Amityville 1992, It's About Time, aka Amityville 6, The Cuckoo Clock of Doom. Yep, we're back to possessed objects from the house, and like the fourth movie, it's delightfully stupid. The fourth movie still had a fairly strong story about a woman trying to deal with the stress of raising 3 kids after the death of her husband and the haunted lamp just exacerbating matters. Amityville 6, however, does not have that strength. An architect returns from a trip to the Amityville area with an antique clock. He has a teenage son, a teenage daughter, and an ex-girlfriend that he's on pretty good terms with. Like sleeping with her in the first actual sex scene in the series. I'm actually surprised it took them that long to get to it. And naturally, she sleeps with him despite having a boyfriend already. Admittedly, the boyfriend, Larry, is a douchebag psychiatrist that I really hope we were supposed to hate because he is insufferable in any scene he's in. The clock drills into the fireplace mantle and starts spreading its evil, particularly showing off in front of the teenage son for no real reason. It makes a ghost of a neighbor's dog attack the architect, leaving him bedridden and forcing the ex-girlfriend to stick around longer than she intended. However, the painkillers he's on leave him susceptible to mood swings, which are then exacerbated by the clock, and it starts to possess him and redesign his big project. The clock starts making every house the architect designs into the Amityville house, to the point where the neighborhood he's building is nothing but the Amityville house over and over. It's nicely creepy and a good reminder that this is indeed an Amityville movie. Even if I don't get why the demons are so obsessed with that particular house design. A great scene in the movie is when Larry, after having just slept with the girlfriend, goes downstairs and gets some leftovers in the fridge. The clock makes time slow down and the architect appears in front of him at the kitchen table, and they just talk, the mood just getting more and more sinister.
Sometimes I get the urge to tear them down. Just get a hold of a wrecking ball and level blocks and blocks of ranch-style homes. I mean, you spend all day just healing people, making them feel better. Don't you ever want to hurt them? Make them bleed? Balance the books?
The problem comes in the actor playing Larry, who hams it up to the extreme, but the architect, played by Stephen Macht, plays it straight with the right level of menace that he becomes genuinely scary despite wearing that sweater.
I tell you one thing, though. You turn this puppy on some asshole and you can slip your wrist through the hole it'll leave behind.
Stephen Macht is great in this. I really wish the movie was of higher quality. He deserves a much better movie. Of course, right after the really good scene is the really weird scene. The daughter gets up and looks into a nearby mirror, and the reflection starts to move on its own, eventually coming out of the mirror and masturbating her until the mirror leaks black ooze. What is even the hell?
What was that black goo?
After that fun, the house possesses the daughter too, making her lure a guy she had been crushing on into a basement and then makes him melt? This is kind of a weird movie. All while this has been going on, the son has been meeting an old woman who lives down the street. She's kind of a new age mystic woman, but instead of talking cryptically or ominously, she speaks in a very direct, "Yeah, life's a bitch" kind of way. Looking through her books, they realize the clock came from the Amityville house, but they never bother to actually do anything about it. She gets another goofy death. As she's walking in broad daylight, the clock makes her cane get trapped in a crack, and then a diaper delivery truck, I don't know, something like that, gets sent down the road to try to run her down. Naturally, she does the smart thing and leaps out of the way, but then a stork on top of the truck falls down and impales her. Smooth. The son keeps getting in trouble, not only because he skips school, but the clock gets him blamed for neo-Nazi graffiti and setting fire to stuff. The police take him into custody, and then apparently let him go for no reason.
What'd I tell you? Should never have let that Sterling kid go home.
This all builds to the climax, where Larry gets more black goo sent at him in a bathtub.
Was the black goo always intended for use as a weapon, or was it just weird alien cum?
The girlfriend goes to see the redone project with all the Amityville houses, and one house has gravestones for all of them, including a dead Larry hanging out the side. It's a great scene. The son and the girlfriend try to escape, but the possessed daughter and architect attack them. But after they're fought off, the clock goes nuts, reversing time so the son becomes a baby. The girlfriend says he needs to be allowed to leave, which the clock complies with for some reason. Then she smashes the wall around the clock, which has gears and crap inside of it. Man, clocks are like mold. You get it in your walls and soon everything's like this. The clock tries to suffocate her with gas, but she ignites a spark, blowing up the house and the clock, which somehow makes time reverse back to the point where the architect arrived with the clock. This time she smashes it and leaves, meaning nothing that we saw actually happened, and there was no character development for anyone but her.
We hope you've enjoyed No Moral Theater.
One good thing I'll say about this movie is the ticking motif. The music incorporates a clock ticking at several points, and the constant tick-tock of the clock seems to hang over the house, a loud and continual reminder that it's there and it's watching. This movie is weird and bad, but it's got a lot of good things going for it. Definitely a so bad it's good kind of movie. Check it out.
The camera pulls back as if to say, sorry about this, everyone. It's my fault. Sorry.